Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. Hi, darling.
Ooh, welcome to People Like Us Special Edition RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 7 Review, Episode 11, the season almost finale.
Almost. One more to go, right?
One more to go. We're almost there, and I can't believe it. It's been such an incredible season, but literally almost the finale, so...
It's gone by really fast.
It really has. It's been very enjoyable. There hasn't been like many episodes that I was like, nah, I didn't like it. Like they've all been fun in different ways. And so time goes fast when you're having fun. So I'm sad. I'm going to be so sad next week when it's over.
You'll find another one to watch, I'm sure.
Another one starts on Saturday and I'll be watching it. Absolutely.
You see? You'll be
absolutely fine. No, but I don't think I will enjoy it as much as this one because the finale, this All Stars has been such a bar above the rest. Like I'll like the show, but this was really special. I think that the fan base has said it, like this has been all love and all really top tier talent. So yes, of course I'm gonna watch all the rest of the stuff, but
well, can you imagine me? This is my first.
You can never watch another, like just turn it
I
off.
can't. I started at like, you know,
you're gonna turn on the next season and be like
the Louis, the Gucci's, and then it's like, well, I don't want that.
You're gonna turn on the next season and be like, these girls are not as good. I'm like,
Yeah.
So that's a normal race.
I started spoiled. I started with like the top. I mean, I'm okay with it.
They're amazing. They really are amazing. And this episode, we finally get to see their talent show, which normally in All Stars, it starts with the talent show, but here we ended with it. And it was interesting because RuPaul threw a twist out there, which we knew was coming, but we didn't know exactly what it was. And the twist is that the people who were the top two got 3 extra stars. And it's so funny because at first I was like, but like, that's so I didn't like it. I didn't like the 3 extra stars. So I'm like, oh, but like, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of tracking. And then I thought about it like Mario Party, and it's like, this is what you do at the end of the game. It's home run, kill it or not. And talent show is so big. It's like in any pageant in the drag world, the talent portion has the most points. And so I thought about like,
didn't we have a viewer compare this to the Mario last week or so? Okay.
Yes. Okay, I was like, makes so much sense. Like the only thing is, I wish they could like steal stars. That would have been cool. But
but listen, this just goes to show our viewers that your comments matter and your perspective matters because you wouldn't have maybe seen it that way. I still don't know what the heck you guys are talking about, but I'm glad you're good.
You never play Mario Party, and at the end they're like, person who got the most cherries gets another star, and then
I'm gonna tell you something about Mario. After the first Mario, I don't know anything.
I played them all.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything. It just kept getting complicated and so to answer your question, no. I've played it with you.
Shocking that I love it, right? So I played every single Mario there ever was.
No, I don't know what's going on. It's just like when you guys want to play, I'm like, okay. And then I just crash into everything that's in front of me.
And scream the whole time with anxiety.
Yeah, it makes me nervous. But I'm really glad. Thank you to our viewers and the comments because you got to see something in a different perspective and now you get it.
Yeah, so I really did actually like the mentality. And I was like, and then going into talent, right? So they can do whatever they want. And I had a very strong initial reaction to like, why were they all like, the majority of them did like a lip sync performance. And as I was watching other reviewers, as I do, they were like, this is what drag queens do. And I was like, you right? Like, and the comparison was the girl said, tell me you're a fan of Drag Race, not a fan of drag queens. And I was like, yes, because Drag Race has conditioned us to have certain expectations. And when they're juggling and still walking and throwing fire and this night, you're like, you're just lip syncing. And I'm like, this is what they do. So I'm not going to knock them for it. And so that's where we're at.
Well, good. I'm glad all happy things.
Yes. And RuPaul looked like she was going to the family picnic and wanted to make sure nobody updressed her. But I love me some stoned picnic wear. It was so cute. I love it, love it, love it.
It was cute, actually. I would have loved it with like high boots, like kind of, you know what I mean? Just to kind of bring it in. Yeah. But she looked amazing. Her body looked amazing.
I love that design of that belt. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's very cute because it's like corset-y, so it kind of,
Well, and it
makes a
adds to
picnic
the it adds
table
to
look,
me gusta.
yeah, really beautiful. You better work.
Like only she can, right? And so we're gonna go into one girl at a time as we always do, and I've got some special things at the end, so stick with us here. But
I'm
starting
already
up,
laughing at your comment, right?
what?
Like only she can.
Like only
Period.
she can. Yeah, because she's Mother
Period.
Boo.
You're like, period. Moving on.
Right. Very hourglass. She better work. I love her. I appreciate all of these comments.
We
So
live.
I
I live.
I die. So
I
speaking
love
of
it.
I Live, we're starting with Miss Vivian, which these pictures, of course, are just of the runway and whatnot when they were standing there getting their critiques. And so the Vivian was one of the lip sync numbers. You really loved her song. You thought it was great, right?
I thought it was very gimmicky. I thought it was good because it was gimmicky, it was catchy. By the end of her performance, I felt like it was a song that's always been on the radio that everyone can just like sing along to. And
Yes.
she, to me, is so beautiful. I just think she's so pretty and beautiful and very like delicate looking and elegant. And even though she was wearing something that was funky, and it has to be because she's British. Like she just looks so poised all the time.
She's the queen in drag.
She's like, it's from Britain. Like, they look just
Britain.
classy. And yeah. So I loved her. And I loved her song. I was like, yeah, I was like, I just felt like I was transported to the 90s,
Yeah.
which
I
a
will
lot
say,
of them had that same vibe, I think.
well, and it makes sense because they know what's good. So we know where it's at. But I will say this. I felt looking at her here and many times throughout this episode, she looked sad. Like I feel like she knew at this point that she wasn't probably going to be in the top 4, and she looked sad. Like I didn't feel like she was angry or bitchy. I was like, yeah, she's like, meh. I got all the way here, obviously, on this show, and it's like, and I understand that feeling. So, but
I do too, but I would encourage all of the queens to realize that so much comes from this, and
oh my
that
god,
sometimes the person that gets the crown doesn't get near as much success as other people that have just been given that opportunity to shine. So, not that I would wish, less success on anyone else, but
oh
just
yeah,
life is like that sometimes. So, I think she's spectacular and I think she's talented and I love her. Now I'm looking at her and now I feel sad because I hadn't really paid attention to
you
that. But
see it though. It's like I was like, oh, you need a hug, mama.
don't be sad, darling. Let's have
Gonna
some
be
tea
fine.
and crumpets together.
Yes. The
Beautiful.
reality is, I mean, her fan base has exploded. She's going to have an amazing career ahead of her, bigger than she's already had, and they all know that. So I'm
I
excited
love
for her.
her. I've loved her from day one.
You have definitely been a diehard Vivian fan.
I love her.
So moving on, we have Miss Shea Coulee.
Shea Coulee.
Shea Coulee to me in this was phenomenal. She was, again, kind of 80s, 90s mixed together. Janet Jackson, of course. I loved it. I thought she killed it.
She brought it. She brought it. I loved the backup dancers. And I think that the people that had the backup dancers did so good because
there was something here though that she did not go into the back. Like, yes, they were there and it was awesome. It's so confident.
You felt like you were watching. That's what I was saying. Like when they had background dancers and they were like in the front, in the center, it's like it kind of just completed the whole
VMAs,
little concert. You're like, yeah, you're like, bring the t-shirts. I think one of the judges said that. It's true.
Yeah, it felt like an award show, and it really did. So I'm going to play a little bit of her number in case you missed it, because I loved it so much that I was like, I had to show it. I love the confidence, the walking, all of it.
I love it.
There's no hesitation. Like, the moves are on it. Like, boom, boom, boom. It's so good. It's so
really
good.
good. I don't know much about these girls outside of what I've been watching, so I don't know what her thing is. But I think this is her thing.
It's
I
so
would
good.
I would say if she doesn't know, Shay, if you haven't like figured out what your thing is, this is your thing. She did so good. I honestly feel like that was like her best performance throughout the whole entire season.
Honestly, one of her best of her career on Drag Race. And I don't know, did you see when Monet said it? She's like, "This is you." Like she said it, like I felt it.
Yes.
And yeah,
She
oh,
did
and look at
so
this
good.
great comment. She was meant to be in the finale. She has the right energy on that stage. She delivered. She really
Yes.
did. Like, I
Yes, she
couldn't say
did.
nothing bad about Miss Shea Coulee. And I was not rooting for her to be in the finale because I had other votes. But I'm not
She
upset
did
that she's
great. I
there.
loved it. I think she looked beautiful and her performance was spot on.
And of course, if you all take the photos, we're gonna show them because this is everything. I love that orange and cream eyeshadow. Whoop! And the hair soaring. It's so good.
So good. The outfit, she just looked amazing. I think she brought it all together very well.
Absolutely. And then moving on to Miss Evie Oddly, who was just so cool. And especially that entrance was so funny and smart, how we thought she was walking out, but then it wasn't her. That was so Evie of you,
It
Evie.
was so good. Listen, her double.
Wait.
That I was like, oh, it looked just like her. I loved
Yeah, Monet
it.
talk about Evie Oddly's body. The body is right.
Yeah, the body is right. It's so good.
Yes, and I won't spend a ton of time on this, but I don't want to not acknowledge what Evie's going through. And there's been a lot of posting on her social media about it, about I don't know exactly the way to pronounce this, but Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is what she has. It's something to do with collagen and connective tissue and whatnot. But I thought this was very insightful, saying that when I competed on season 11, I was really just beginning to feel the effects on my body. Going back only 3 years later, the struggle every day, I struggled every day and it was intense. Those days are long and the time for recuperation in between is more of an idea than a reality. So by this point in the competition, I was far beyond the peak of my physical capabilities, energy output. When they announced this week was the talent show, I knew it was my last chance to try and showcase one of my favorite tricks, a full-on no-hands ass backflip. I remember landing my first one when I was 13 at Church in the Hood camp and feeling like I was a real superhero. I had that feeling again at 22, the first time I did it in heels for a performance at Drag Nation. And I was excited to share that feeling one last time at 27 or die trying on Drag Race. But unfortunately, that never happened. The last backflip I ever landed was mustering up enough energy to go full out for rehearsal. However, the last one I ever attempted was for the first taping of my performance, and I had even less energy to spare and landed on my neck, shoulder, head in front of RuPaul. So at least I had the pleasure of giving her a heart attack. I spent a lot of time feeling angry, sad, disappointed by that night. But ultimately, I had to let it go because there's so much I'm still capable of doing and being. So to anyone who ever asks how my health is doing, it's not good. And it's not going to get better. And it's not going to. But at least I am. And I just want to celebrate this amazing human being who is really just becoming a voice for anybody suffering with anything. What an amazing perspective, point of view, opportunity. Like, what am I trying to say?
Like mindset.
The mindset, like the way you choose to look at things. Like you've got a really serious condition. Optimism. I was like, opportunist is not it. The optimism, like, holy crap, I deal with much less than you. And there's days that are really hard. And I look at that and it's very inspiring and beautiful. And backflip or not, you killed it, Miss Evie. And we've enjoyed watching you so much this whole season. So thank you for pushing through because we enjoyed it the whole series.
It's so funny. I'd never heard of her. I'd never seen her. And my first impression was like, oh wow. Like her name matches her very well. She's so
Absolutely.
odd. And when I tell you that I have fallen in love with her throughout this show
without even knowing all the things that have happened.
No, I had no idea. And there's just something about her that you can't keep your eyes off of her. You learn to love her individuality, like
Love
how
it.
different she is. And one of the judges said this on one of the shows, and I think it was so spot on. And it's like, you can't compare her to anything else, to anyone else. It's
She's
almost
in
like she
her
needs
own
her
world.
own show.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, not only the bravery of going out there feeling the way that she feels, being able to share it, like that's something very personal, and to put it
Extremely.
out there so publicly. And then kind of like that bittersweet that I've been able to do this, and I know that I will no longer be able to the
Yeah.
same capability. She's super strong, and I think she's a beautiful soul, and what she's shown so far is inspiring, you know,
Yeah.
in every way, shape, and form. Be
Yeah.
different, be okay to step out of the box. Like
Mm.
if you're sick, it's okay, put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
I just feel like she's brought so much. So
Yeah.
we love
And
you, Edie Oddly.
we do. And Evie was one of the first of the original cast of RuPaul's Drag Race live in Las Vegas. So, I mean, she's literally in a couple years been able to do such big dream come true. And when I went to Vegas, I got to see the original cast, and Evie was such, again, somebody I wasn't really looking forward to, that wasn't the top of my list. And I was like, oh my God, you're so fun. And it was just these weird, wacky performances. And again, nobody was like Evie. And I admire Evie a lot. And this made me very like emotional, but at the same time, like I just want to celebrate this amazing human being and
Yes.
and makeup artist, because that makeup is
Oh,
right.
she's just no, her makeup is also on a whole nother level. Like she's so good.
Yes.
We love her.
Yes. So moving on to Miss Jinx Monsoon, who I
Miss
have
Jinx.
loved since episode ever one.
Miss Jinx is like a steady. Like you know what you're gonna get with her. There's no surprises. She's just like like slow and steady wins
You're
the race.
confused. You haven't been paying attention, because this is what she's going to give you, and she's going to do it right.
Yeah,
This is what she's going to give you.
So good.
And so she did her little cabaret-ish number. I'm here for it, Alex. Yes, the winner. Here's fingers crossed for Friday. Oh my God. I never choose the right winner. I'm always like going for the person and they end up second or third. I love you, Jinx, so much. You have entertained me beyond belief, and you were bullied the heck down the season that you won. And to be here this moment, I have loved every episode from the beginning with Snatch Game, and I am just, I'm so hopeful that you can win, because I love you so much. And that way maybe we'll tour other places besides like Washington and New York and California, so I can finally see you. So
she's so good. She's very talented. She knows what she's good at, and she knows how to. She looks like the fairy godmother. She does. She knows how to just stick to what she does well.
Yes.
And she perfected it to a point where like she's good every single time. Like you know what you're gonna get with her.
Yes, like you know, she's Bette Midler. She's these old Hollywood. She's good.
Timeless.
She's funny.
It's like a timeless thing with her where, you know, I feel like she was in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and you look at her and you're like, okay, this is somebody that's just, you know, generational crossing over.
Yeah. And I don't know the backstory behind her professional shot. I don't know who this guy is. I literally Googled, tried to figure it out. I'm like, who is this random person in their undies behind you? And they took a whole bunch of other pictures that without undies as well. And I was like, okay, I don't know who they are.
Undies?
Yeah, like showing like their butt and stuff, but I don't know who they are. And I was like, maybe they designed the dress. Maybe they did the, it's like model. And I was like, yeah. So I just wanted to show the
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, okay, Jinx, okay. Is that your boyfriend? Like,
I know that they told her she was very like Jetsons meets the, so I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Maybe there's like something there. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's
if anybody
weird.
watching this knows who this tiny little human next to her is, let us know, because I literally have no idea.
Little Bam Bam guy. He's like in Flintstones, like.
Totally could be that. It wasn't in the caption, so yeah. And
oh well.
Moving on to one of our faves this season, Trinity who has just been consistently one of the best runways, super funny, the best person to help other people with their clothes in the back. And so Trinity also did,
helper.
huh?
She is a helper.
Okay. Like y'all
So
need her
sweet.
in the workroom.
She's a sweetheart. She helps
Trinity should
everybody
charge
out.
for sewing lessons for all these queens that want to go on Drag Race and can't sew. Like, but you did. Trinity did her number, like this country pop sassy number, and ended it with pouring iced tea all over herself, which was unexpected. I think behind the thing, there's like a kiddie pool there. I'm like, I want to see behind the what is that called? Hey. Behind the hay.
She looked amazing. The performance was super fun and it was cute and it was like catchy and it had, a lot going on. Oh,
did you check the pocket? I live. It's so
I
cute.
love it. I live. She looked really good and the performance was really fun and I liked it. Like it was witty and there was a lot going on and the lyrics were hilarious if you were like paying attention to the words.
Yeah.
So I think she did really well.
She always does. I'm a huge fan and I hope to be able to see her live soon as well.
Her pictures, this woman's pictures. My God.
I mean,
her pictures are like everything.
Stunning. Like definitely somebody who should be on cover of magazines. Like,
yeah, like she does such like, I don't know. She's amazing with pictures.
Yeah. Totally agree. Body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Goals. Doctors.
She looks amazing.
Okay. And then a surprise of all surprises, Miss Monet Exchange, who decided to sing opera. Now, I thought it was so funny that in the workroom, Trinity was like, give us a note. And he was like, oh. And she was like, oh, yeah, like that's going to be good. And I was like, turn it out, Monet. Like,
it was funny. I was like, that's it. I stayed like wanting more. I'm like,
so I wanted to share a little bit of it because if you missed it, I mean, this was literally a jaw dropper in the first moment.
She has a whole like Selena vibes going on in the Grammys, right?
It's the Grammys.
Yeah. Just saying. Just had to throw that out there because it reminds me of her.
I love the jaw drop. Girl. I mean, like, it was so unexpected and so good. I was like, okay. Like,
yeah, I mean, the fact that she's in this beautiful gown and then she goes like bass tenor, it's like,
I feel like that's what makes it so amazing. Because, like, if she had tried to go the regular girl voice, it would have been like, oh, okay, you sing.
Well, she wouldn't have been as good at it. She tried that in the preview. I saw they were like, oh no. But that's my thing. It's like, normally, like, when it was Shay, I think, that came out in that powerhouse suit or whatever. And it was that it's so crazy how our minds work, right? Because it's like a
looking at it supposed to be a specific way.
You're looking at it and you're thinking automatically, boom, it's a masculine touch to whatever but here comes this Selena gorgeous looking, with a, and then she opens her mouth and it's like, holy shit.
From the first second, it was like,
good. It was amazing. She did so good.
I can't believe that Monet has been performing all these years and never felt like people would want to see this. This is so good.
She had it in her back pocket.
Girl, Monet's gonna be singing a lot of opera because I think people are gonna request it and they're gonna love it. So.
I mean, it was incredible. She's very, very talented.
It's good. Opera is not easy and not something that anyone could just be like, I want to do opera. I mean, I do on my weekends, but right now I'm saving my voice.
Based on our previous karaoke, yeah, we should stay very away from from certain tones and pitches.
Like all of them. I was meant to lip sync and I can't even do that right. So
oh no, yeah, no. No, I'll vouch for that one.
Moving on to Miss Jada Essence Hall, who gave us this fun, again, it felt very like TLC 90s.
I was just gonna say that, dude. It's TLC all day long.
So TLC in the best of ways.
I loved it.
Yeah. I love the little detail 12 with the crown. So smart. Like, because she won season 12, if you didn't catch that. So little details matter, and I live for them. I thought it was good. It was solid. I mean, Jada's not been, unfortunately, my favorite. I hope nobody gets offended. I love Jada. And after seeing her live recently, I really, really came to love her even more. But I thought this was great. I thought she did good.
I think it's an overall vibe where you have like all this like fierceness, like, you know what I mean? And seems to be very like mellow and very,
it's like the girl next door, and it's
right.
Hard to
yes, it's like your friend, like you want to hang out with after school. Like
I feel like I love Jada, and I would have a great time with Jada. But sometimes I'm like, it's not as high as the. Yeah, that's totally it.
I think for me, that's what I think it is. Like I can tell I know what you mean. For me, they're all new, and they're they all have like the great things about them that I'm like, oh, okay, this. I loved it. She did super good. But I do agree with you. And I think it's that. I think it's like she's like your friend. Let's hang out and, like the girl next door vibe.
Yeah. And I think it's hard. This is a really high caliber of girls. So it's not easy. And just because you won, there may not have been this caliber with the other 12 girls in your season. So this has been a very tough season.
Oh, I love that picture.
Oh, God. Which I was so happy because a lot of the episodes, she didn't take a picture like this. And I was like, this is because she knew this was her vibe. And she's like, wait, I want a picture in it. Like, this is so good.
I love it. She looks so good. I think she's so pretty. She does very, very well with her makeup and her hair. And she did good.
Her makeup.
Yeah, she does really, really good makeup. Like her makeup is on point.
The way you said makeup sounded like milkshake. You were like, my makeup.
That's because you're thinking about milkshakes because you're a fat ass. I'm just kidding.
Do you guys know that movie? What's the movie? Identity Thief, where McCarthy's like, my milkshake, bring up the boys.
That's because you were talking about it before the show. That's why you're thinking that way.
Yes, I'm aware. So
well, let that know because you sound crazy.
If y'all didn't know I'm crazy, then what are you watching this for? Moving on to Miss Rasha, who gave us a traditional Bali dance, and I thought this was super awesome. I definitely am going to let you say what you were talking about because I thought that's such a valid point, and other people agreed online. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Yes?
I remember. So I was waiting for you to finish your statement. I didn't want to interrupt you. Okay, so when I saw it, right, initially, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, like this is, I had so many things go through my mind. I'm like, it's super cool. It's also a little strange. There's like this mystic vibe. It's not very big on movements. You know what I mean? So it's she was making all sorts of strange faces and the way her arms would just kind of like, I was like, oh, okay. And when we talked about it, my initial thing, it's like, well, I would really like to see other people perform this, typical dance because I've never seen it before. And I don't know how great it is because right now I'm just looking at it like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah.
And I did some research and I did look at some. And she did an amazing job. So apparently the dance is
how it's done.
Yes, the dance is very I don't want to say strange, but it is a very like choppy type movement only in your arms mostly. And then facial expressions are a big part of the dance. And I wouldn't have never known that. So thank you for educating me, Russia, on this beautiful
Yeah.
performance that obviously won us over, and you can talk about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, I really was like, this is really cool, and I love learning about other cultures. So, you know,
Mhm.
if I was on Drag Race, I'd want to do something Cuban, right? Like, so this is what you do. Like, I love that you did this, Raja. I didn't have a reference either, and when I heard somebody say that, I was like, oh, that's a good point. Like, I don't have anything to compare to. I just took it at face value, but I understood that. When Raja shared about her father and the memory of being a child and him losing her, and then Raja was dancing this dance, and I was so emotional right next to Raja, and I felt it so much. Not just the story, but then the judge had said, you know, there's something special about your energy, your aura, and Raja was like, I think it's my dad, and I just lost it because I love the idea, and I choose to believe that they don't ever leave us when they pass, and that, you know, our family and our loved ones, they're a part of us. And I love that somebody said it, and then the story came, and it was like, yeah, that's the aura they're feeling, because people are connected to energy. So it was such a beautiful, special moment. I also laughed a lot when Raja was doing the Tic Tac lunge, and something about, this is probably the last time I'll ever get to do this. And I was like, actually, I don't want to do this again. Like, don't invite me back. I thought that was so honest. Like, yeah, girl, I gave it my all. This is it. Like, I'm good with this. I want to do other things. And yeah, I really
It was
just,
a beautiful performance, and it was very heartfelt.
yeah, I
And
enjoyed that. I love Heart. So
she was vulnerable, and she, spoke about something that's a lot of people don't like opening up about. So I give her kudos for that. And yeah,
yeah,
I researched it because I was very intrigued. I'm like, okay, I want to know more about this because I had never seen it. And let's be clear, there's, every country, every heritage, like you don't just have one dance. Like,
yeah,
so it's not an issue of, oh, I've never seen, Bali dances. No, yeah, but a specific one that not only means so much to her, but has such a deep, connection with female male energy. It doesn't
the
matter. Like
gender
there's,
is so beautiful. That story is, and it's
yeah,
amazing. It's so poignant for this show. It makes sense. Like,
correct. Yeah. So it made a lot of sense as to why she picked it. So I did appreciate that. I'm a little bit of like a history buff, and I like learning things. So it was cool.
I don't fall too much into history overall, but cultural history I
Yeah.
love so much. I love to, especially if there's food involved. So, and of course, we're
Oh,
going to
look at
share the
these
picture,
pictures.
because I mean, hello, Raja, gorgeous. The colors are beautiful. I enjoy this so much. Great job. And I've got to share some of Raja's Instagram because I thought it was also very special. And I cannot read that. One moment, I gotta zoom in. A love letter. If you swipe through this post, the last video means the most. It was taken in June 2021 on my birthday, just before leaving to film Drag Race. I knew I wanted to do the name of the dance. I don't know how to say it, so I don't want to say it wrong. And my mother's experience as an Indonesian dancer and instructor needed to be utilized. I needed her coaching and approval. She studied Asian cultural dance in many forms. Her love was Indonesian. Mom, later in life, was debilitated from numerous physical ailments and issues for years. She left this earthly realm in November of 2021 before the season aired. These images mean everything to me. I love my family, and I'm so proud to be the only Asian Pacific winner so far. Here's to more. I was like, damn it, Raja, like you're just keep the emotions going. And there's pictures of Raja as a little boy. Like, I love this so much. And I just love when people choose to share why something is special. Um, so much more love for Raja through this one. I really did. Like, this was so cool. And
Yeah.
so,
I agree with you when it comes to that. Like, we're all connected in so many ways, and we're also similar in this aspect more than anything. Like our families, the love, our heritage, the way that we grew
yeah,
up. And it's so nice to see, meet, and know of people that have such strong connection with that, because not everybody does. So it's really nice. It kind of gives you an insight into that person's soul, right? How they
yeah.
feel, how what makes them tick, and that's so important.
Completely. And so here's the video clip from the last time he was with his mom before the show recorded. So
Wow! I'm exhausted.
I will tell you, I wish there was a better videographer so I could have actually seen Raja dancing the whole thing. But I love that there's different people in the room. There's generational differences, there's gender differences, and everybody was applauding Raja for just doing Raja. And I'm just,
it's so great. I mean, it reminds me of like when I used to perform for my grandmother all the time, and I'd run and put all her clothes on and do all these shows, and I'm sure you would do things like that for your grandparents, and so you had your way. No, but you had your way.
I put on her clothes and
no, you should have. You wanted to.
It was frowned upon.
Yeah, well,
I would have been in a bata casa giving you Celia Cruz realness.
That's so funny. I'm sure she would have loved it actually. But yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like how amazing that, when you do those type of things with your family.
Yeah. And so this is why at the end of this episode, they showed Raja's mama. So, in loving memory of the mama. So, that was the runway. I thought it was such a special way to end the show before the grand finale. And so we get our top two, and our top two was Shea and Monet. And honestly, I was like, yep. I thought it was right, even though obviously I'm Team Jinx. But you know what? Monet's opera was undeniable. And Shea's confidence, especially the fact that Shea had that confidence being last in the race, like she was like, I got to give it all, or I mean, that's it. This is the moment. So it was well deserved. So by the point system, Jinx was already in, and then Shea and Monet are in, and Monet decides, or RuPaul decides that because Monet is the one with the most stars, she has to pick who goes to the top 4 between Trinity and Jada because they're tied for the next spot. And so, I mean, I wasn't surprised.
That's so difficult to put on someone.
Terrible position, Ru.
I would be absolutely
can you make them lip sync? Can you do it? It's your show. No, of course not. But she did choose her girl, which I do think is the right thing to do because they have been with each other the whole time. They are winners from the same season. That's why they call each other twinners. Trinity deserves it. It's not that she doesn't. I mean, I could have seen the Vivian there. I could have seen Raja there. I could have seen Evie there. At this point in the game, it was very hard, but it was between her and Jada. And so hard as it may be, I think she made the right choice. Now, I was also wishing I could have seen more of Trinity in that outfit because it's insane. It looks like a Power Ranger. And I was like, why didn't I get to see more of that? And before I show you a clip of the lip sync, I also want to point out Monet looks amazing. And if you guys didn't realize, Monet is wearing her outfit from her season 10 promo. And the promo is shot as a commercial and advertising. So you never wore the clothes on the show. So I love that she brought this outfit back out because it's one of my favorite promo looks ever. And she completely restyled it and made it more femme, less club. And I loved it. I thought she looked amazing.
I was like, she looks better in it now.
Yeah, completely. Monet said that she was trying to curl that wig for hours and hours and hours because she's not good at doing hair. And she's like, I was like, damn it, this blue wig gonna get curly. So
that's good. She did a good job. She looks really amazing. Fun.
And so here's a clip moment of our top 2 doing their lip sync. And it was very interesting because they were both very good, very spot on. And then they started to do the same choreography, like if they were planning this whole thing out. So nobody understands how that happened. Oh. I love it. It's the walk for me. So I loved it. Our last, top 2 lip sync of the season, but it was so good. It was so good. And so that's our top 4. What did you think of the lip sync? Did you love it?
They did good. They did good. It was fun to watch.
They did good. I thought that Monet might win because it seems like every time somebody does a jump split that the judges go crazy and they win. So I was happy that Shay.
Yeah, I agreed with Shay though.
I agree too, but I was like, oh, she did a split. They're gonna give it to her, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So then we have our top 4, and then RuPaul tells the bottom 4, but wait, there's more. And the Vivian's like, RuPaul, seriously? Like, you're killing me here. And RuPaul announces that there's going to be a second crown given at the finale, which is the crown of She Done Already Done Had Hers is. Plus, and that not only are they going to have a crown, but instead of winning 200,000, they're going to win their own amount, and they're going to win 50,000. So obviously the girls are very excited, and we can't wait to see how this turns out. But I will say this, as much as I love all the twists and turns, I think it's weird that the 5th place person is going to win 50,000, but the 2nd place person is going home with nothing. I'd be pissed as hell if I got 2nd place. Put me in the bottom one.
It's a little odd. It is a little odd the way that she decided to do that. I guess it's just like to keep it going. Like she wants to just keep the competition going, and there's going to be a winner. And yeah.
And I did want to share this funny little clip because, Pookie, I would imagine you don't know what She Done Already Done Had Hers is. You don't know what that means, right?
She already won her crown, right?
Okay, so that's how we're using it now. Yeah. No, you're pretty right. You're pretty right. But here's RuPaul explaining what that verbiage actually means because it's so funny.
Oh, okay.
I was coming from the club, and I went to Crystal Burger, just in Atlanta, Georgia. And, we would go and get our food on after, partying and everything. Somebody had come up to pick up a bag, but it actually didn't belong to them. And this girl behind the counter said, no. She not already done had hers. And, of course, I've, taken that to the bank.
So I love that clip. It's very funny to me. So yeah, obviously you did understand it. But a lot of people are like, what does that even mean? And I love that RuPaul shared it.
That's funny. I love where she got it from. Inspiration comes from anything.
Oh,
when you're creative, it just comes from anything.
Ru is a master of taking other people's great ideas. Like one time on the finale, somebody's like, well, and I'm not even going to Ru-apologize. And Ru goes, bitch, consider that shit stolen. Like she's like, I'm gonna keep that one. And she's a master of branding. So she knows how to make stuff and quotes and use them over and over. And the part in the show where that plays used to say something different. So it became that later on. So we have our top 4, we have our bottom 4. And I am going to say my vote before we get to finale. So I obviously am Team Jinx for the win. Do you want to have a vote for the win?
I have no idea at this point.
Pick one. Monet, Shay, Jinx, and Trinity. Monet, Shay, Jinx, and Trinity. Pick one. Your winner vote is...
I don't want to be bullied into picking one. I don't know.
Just pick what you want.
Can I pick 2?
Sure.
Okay. So let's go with Monet. I'm going to do Monet and Jinx.
Ugh. And that is what I think it's going to come down to. And I'm so scared. But I want Jinx to win it.
I'm going to say those 2.
And then out of our bottom 4, or our second crown, we have the Vivian, Jada, Evie, and Raja. And I am going to vote for the Vivian, but I happen to feel like Evie might win it.
This is so hard for me because I'm going to tell you why. But let me tell you why. I feel like they are all so freaking different.
They are.
It's so hard. Like, if you tell, I don't feel like we're comparing apples to apples.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to that exact moment, that exact lip sync. It's going to be like, oh no, she won it. Oh, she won it. Nobody is less deserving than anybody in this race. They're all incredible.
I just feel like if there's ever anyone in this world that would think, oh, it's just a drag queen, like you see one, you see them all. You know what I mean? Like they're all doing the same thing.
No, ma'am.
This just, to me, just kind of reiterates in such a loud way how much value we hold as individuals.
Yeah.
Where you can literally be in a competition with the greats doing
no one like you.
Exact thing and be so different that it's so difficult to even try to narrow down because they're so different.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Right? It's like, so I think it's a good reminder to everybody, like, you know, don't ever think like, oh yeah, other people are already doing this. They're not going to do it like you.
The spectrum of creativity has no limits, and you have a place in that spectrum as long as you're doing it your way. If you're imitating somebody else, you're wasting your time. But the way you do things, like you said, that's you're supposed to take up that space, and I absolutely agree with that.
So for me, I'm just like, it's like nail biting. I don't know. And I love all of them for very different reasons. And I'm very indecisive, which means I would never be good as a judge in any panel. So
yeah, they're like 30 seconds. We need an answer. You're like, ah!
Everybody wins. I have no idea. I mean, I love the Vivian. So for me, just and nothing to do with the performance. No, it's just like the person as a whole.
We love the Vivian.
I will say this, and I think you don't feel the same way. It's different. You've been following the show for a lot longer. I would be happy no matter who wins. I'd be like, oh, okay, like they're good. I know that you have your
favorite. Out of the top winners or out of the bottom ones?
Out of all of them.
No. No, RuPaul.
That's how I feel. I'm like
okay
RuPaul.
with the second crown, but the first one, it's Team Jinx, Team Jinx, Team Jinx.
I don't know. I just think that you're so funny. I would honestly, well deserved to whoever wins it, because they're all amazing and they all deserve to be there.
I don't know if anybody watching this knows this about me. Like, this is so serious to me. And this is how it is, like watching anything. Like when I watched American Idol, I was livid when people didn't win that I wanted them to win. Like, this is how I watch stuff. We've talked about it before. I'm either in or out. I am so invested, like so invested. So we won't be talking.
And then you wonder why you have crazy migraines all the time.
Es que nací así intenso. Like, it's not my fault. But
unlike me, I'm like, so I'm in it for the entertainment.
Like,
I'm in it for
fine. Oh yay! Whoever won. Ay, yo quisiera. No,
like, you guys are all amazing. You all deserve to be here. We're having a great time.
Blah blah blah. Team Jinx. So, Friday we have our finale. So we will be on, of course, next week. We're gonna do our RuPaul's Drag Race coverage next Monday evening because Mondays are a drag. So we'll talk about the big finale.
Yeah, because he's switching up days back and forth, y'all. You're not crazy.
It's, you know, like, how RuPaul likes to twist it. So
yeah, he's like trying to RuPaul #2 over here.
So, and if you just have not had enough Drag Race because it's over on Friday, don't worry, because coming up on Saturday is a brand new season of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. And if you do follow this series, there was a lot of problems with season 1, people not liking the way they were judging and critiquing and whatnot. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they keep it going. And here's your gaggle of gals. A lot of different colors and styles and personalities. I've seen all the Meet the Queens and I've got my favorites lined up. Of course I do.
And just so that we can touch really quickly based on it, we're not going to be doing a review on this show, but they can follow you
on another channel.
On a different channel, and you will definitely keep this going for all of the RuPaul Drag Race fans.
Yes. So next week during the finale, I'll make sure on that video the link is there to my other channel that I'll be launching for all of the Drag Race reviews, because not only on Saturday do we have that, but in a couple of weeks, RuPaul has surprised us with even more drag, and this is Secret Celebrity RuPaul Drag Race. And so if you don't know what this is, neither do we, because the reason is last time this happened, it was like 2 celebrities would come, the drag queens would give them a makeover, they would do a lip sync, the winner got money for a charity, that was it. And the week after, 2 more drag queens came. It was nonsense and enjoyable, but it wasn't that well done of a show. It seemed very cheap and like a last minute idea. Here's what happens when your budget goes up. It is going to be so good. Like, Pookie, you might actually love this one, because what's happening is it's like, you know that show, The Masked Singer, that you don't know who's singing the whole time? We're not going to know who the celebrity is, and they're getting voted off one. So there is somebody, I'm going to be trying to figure out who's who. And so let's take a look at this preview, because I'm so excited about it.
August 12th on VH1. See celebrities.
I love this opportunity to go all in.
Like you've never.
This is a new discovery for me.
Seen them before.
The stars have aligned.
9 top secret stars transformed in drag.
I had no idea it was you.
Compete in the ultimate lip sync showdown.
Who will be America's next Celebrity Drag Race superstar?
RuPaul's Secret Celebrity Drag Race. New season premieres Friday, August 12th at 8 on VH1.
Not only does it look so good, look at that stage and the lighting. The Drag Race girls already were like, hey, where's our new stage? Like, we want to upgrade. And RuPaul, again, master of marketing. If you listen to the track, that's her new song. Who is she? Who is she? I'm like, RuPaul on another level. And I love that it's Fridays at 8 p.m. because I love when the world watches things together, not it's out at 6 a.m. and I have to watch it before work, because if not, there's spoilers. So I'm excited about it. So that'll be another show that I will definitely also be reviewing simultaneously, because I don't have enough to do and I'm crazy. Yeah. So I hope you guys will join us everywhere. And yeah, I'm excited to see who wins on Friday.
Well, I'm excited to report who wins on Monday. And I'm really excited about our grand finale. And it's going to be super fun. It's going to be amazing. We'll have a lot of surprises coming up. And yeah.
Thank you guys for continuing to hang out with us and enjoying our review. This was People Like Us Special Edition RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 7 Review, Episode 11, with only one more to go. You didn't do the thing.
I said and breathe.
Oh, okay. So I love you guys.
Like my head twirl.
You've been doing it like every weekend. That was like organic. We didn't even plan it. So it was organic. We didn't plan it. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for hanging with us. And we will see you next week for the grand finale. Bye.
Bye.